This video is a visual record with history attached of a section of the old Auchencruive Waggonway that once ran all the way from Ayr Harbour right up past Auchencruive, beyond and bank as far as Enterkin. This section just covers the bit from Oswald Bridge at Auchencruive as far as the bridge by the Brockle Quarry just before Wallace's seat. It's a visual record, so excuse the potted bits of history along the way. This is the old cutting and the overbridge. The old waggonway cut across the River Ayr about 200 yards below Oswald's bridge. Then went up a small embankment and a cutting, and then joined up with the line as it ran up past Oswald's bridge, going up towards Enterkin and Bank and Auchencruive. The waggonway had originated back as early as the late 1700s, and its maximum extent was perhaps by the middle of the 19th century. Certainly by the end of the 19th century, all the pits had closed and the line had been removed. Some of it was plateway, some of it may have been the more normal railway tracks. The gauge is uncertain. Some suggestions it was about 4'2". Other suggestion was it was the normal standard gauge of 4'8½". Section of old railway cutting on the Auchencruive Waggonway. There were also other waggonways closer to Ayr, such as the one at Craigie, another one running up to Holmeston, close to the old lime kiln, just above Wallace's heel well. So these only carried coal, but they were older than the famous Auchencruive Railway, which wasn't open to about 1811. The oldest sections would have been horse-drawn, but later steam locomotives would have been used. The original track, the L-shaped track, was very easily broken. It was cast iron, so that horses would have been suitable for that. Also, they had stone sleepers originally. Some of them have been found in walls and lying around, but most were sold off when the lines were closed. Elsewhere, perhaps, more normal track was used. But a highly complex story. Lots of small branches running off up to collieries that closed, maybe only after a few years in some cases. This section is quite deep. There's quite a gradient. Actually, it must have been like trying to control a number of wagons pulled by a horse, just using a primitive brake device. The old waggonway winding its way beside the River Ayr up through the woods. This is heading or looking towards Ann Bank. This section has a fairly substantial embankment. So it's quite a considerable construction effort here. There's a section here of embankment with steep sides, and certainly wide enough here to be double track. Much further down the river, just below Oswald's bridge, there was a bridge going across the River Ayr. There's another one which has the piers still surviving further up. This slumped section here presents the position of one of the coal mining areas, which was known as the Sheep Pit. Trees here betray the fact that this was a line for transporting coal. Everywhere you look, there's remnants of either Bing material, coal waste. Maybe some of it was spillage. Remnants of the Waggonway Bridge at running towards Brockle Wood and Brockle Quarry. Still quite substantial. However, as late as 1969 there were 2 more piers standing within the river itself. So at this point the line cut across the River Ayr. See these small holes here where the lifting device, like a big pair of calipers, was used to lift the stones into place. It's unclear what these holes are for here. There appear to be another level. The piers here are made of locally quarried red sandstone. The line running up from here, and the section from Oswald Bridge, only was in use for about 15 years. However, it served anything up to 25 coal pits, 3 quarries, 2 lime kilns and 1 salt works. So the most substantial works on the line were required in this part.